Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another guide. Today we finally have Ezreal for you all. I'll be going through the items, the runes, the spells, combos, everything you need to know for Ezreal. We finally got a good game with him, and I know a lot of you have been requesting me to do this guide, so hopefully you all enjoy it. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing a lot more guides, gameplay content. We're still in the top 40 right now in Challenger. I think we're on about 290 LP. So we're up there with the big boys now, so expect a lot of content coming out over the next few days. You know, tips and tricks on how to get Challenger, builds, guides, and lots more. Also, we hit YouTube Partner yesterday as well, so I just want to say a big massive thank you for everyone that's supported me so far. It's been a crazy ride so far, and it only goes up from here, and Wild Rift's only going to get better from here. So onwards and upwards, they say. Enough of me talking, let's head straight into the Ezreal guide. Now, first off, we're going to take a look at the items. Now, the first item is Manamune. Now, Manamune is a great item for Ezreal. His abilities don't cost a lot of mana at all, and you'll be spamming out the spells a lot. So being able to get that, you know, attack damage equal to the mana, and you're going to be stacking the mana every single time that you use a spell until it goes up to the mirror mana, the upgraded version, which is going to deal more damage. It's really easy to get the upgraded Manamune as soon as possible. The best thing to do when you first go back is to buy the Tear of the Goddess straight away. Now, the Tear of the Goddess will allow you to stack the mana charge as quick as possible. You don't want to go for any other items on your first back. You just want to focus on getting this Tear of the Goddess. Obviously, you still want to complete the Manamune, still get that completed, so then when it does upgrade, you have it ready and available. It's probably best for you to start with the Longsword. Don't start with the Mana Crystal because it doesn't really give you that much. But after that Longsword, your next back should focus on the Tear of the Goddess. Now, this is kind of, I would say, a weakness to Ezreal. At times, you could say, is that you kind of need to wait and scale up and wait for this Tear of the Goddess to stack up. And then obviously once you get your Manamune, then it will keep stacking up, and then eventually it will upgrade to this item, which is the Mura Mana, which gives you a bunch of mana, and it grants you attack damage equal to 1.5% of the maximum mana, and refunds 50% of all mana spent as well. Now, this item is crucial on Ezreal. You need to make sure you get this, like I said, as soon as possible. It works really well with his kit. Like I said, you can keep spamming spells when you're walking across lane. Just keep spamming your Qs. You'll see me do that in the gameplay today. Keep spamming all your abilities, and it will work really well. The next item, another perfect item for Ezreal, Trinity Force, gives you all the stats you need. Spellblade is an absolute brilliant passive for Ezreal. It's the passive from the Sheen effect. Using ability causes the next attack used within 10 seconds to deal bonus physical damage equal to 200% base, which is your base AD. It's crazy, because how Ezreal works is that your Q effect will work as an auto attack for this Trinity Force effect. So if you land your first ability, your Q, and you haven't had the Spellblade proc yet, it will proc straight away if you hit a champion or if you hit a minion or anything like that, and it will deal that extra damage. So you can get a lot of good poke damage off and a lot of good all-in potential with Ezreal. As I said before though, this build, it takes quite a while to get online. It's super expensive. So in the early game, so like your first dragon fight, you probably won't be that useful. But come the second and the third, even like definitely the third one, maybe not the second, but definitely the third Drake, you'll be very strong. You'll probably have your Manamune online. You'll probably have your Trinity Force and your Boots online. So you'll be at a really good spot. These two items are your core items, Manamune and Trinity Force. You need to make sure you buy these as soon as possible, and yeah, get them online straight away. In terms of the Trinity Force, the best way to go about it, you always want to buy the Sheen first. As I said, the Sheen gives you that Spellblade buff, so it help you a lot during laning phases, with clearing minions, with trading out against the enemy champions. It's really nice. Now, if you want to be a bit more safe, have a bit more utility, and kind of don't really want all that damage from the Trinity Force, if you kind of want to play a bit safe, you can go for Iceborne Gauntlet. It still has the Spellblade effect, but it has an extra effect on top of it, which is it also creates an icy field for 2 seconds that slows enemies inside by 30%, and armor increases the size of the icy field. So it's a way if you're against like a lot of attack damage, if you want to get that armor in, if you want to be more utility and be more of a case of like the slows and things like that instead of like dealing lots of damage. You can go for Iceborne, but most of the time if you want to carry the games, you always want to go for the Trinity Force. Now the next 3 items are all pretty situational. You can build these in any order that you want to, really. The only one I'd really say is quite good is Blade of Ruin King. Now Blade of Ruin King took a bit of a hit for Ezreal, as he doesn't really need the attack speed. He kind of needs more of the attack damage, but the effect is really good. You can get 3 hits on an enemy really quickly to get the drain effect, to get the movement speed off the enemies, and it's really nice for catching and also escaping with Ezreal. You have the blink for Ezreal, you have the Blade of the Ruin King effect, so it's a really nice way to catch on to enemies and chase them down when you're in a team fight. You also got Mortal Reminder as well. As I said before, Mortal Reminder is really good. Gives you the Executioner's Calling, which allows you to deal grievous wounds. And it also gives you the armor penetration against tanks and also quite a bit of attack damage. And for last item, Guardian Angel just keeps you alive, gives you that extra armor and the attack damage. And it's quite ideal for Ezreal, especially if you get like caught out. First off, for runes, you have Conqueror. Now, Conqueror took obviously a little bit of a nerf, but to be honest, it's still completely fine on Ezreal. There's no real other rune that you can go with Ezreal, which is kind of an unfortunate situation. You get the bonus AD, you get the bonus 7% bonus adaptive damage when you reach the full 5 stacks, which is quite easy to hit again on Ezreal with all your spells, with your blinks, your auto attacks. You can get 5 stacks really quickly, so it's nice to get that little bit of extra damage. Gone for Brutal as the first spell. The Hunter Vampirism rune can work for Ezreal. It's kind of situational, I guess. If you want to stay alive, if you want to be a bit more safer, then you can go for Hunter Vampirism. But I think Brutal is pretty nice to get that early damage off, especially in the early game, because Ezreal kind of struggles in the early game in terms of farming, trying to, you know, push down the lane, trying to be a bit more aggressive. He kind of falls back because you're not building any damage items really in the early game. You're going for that Manamune that stacks up. So champions, if you're against like a Xayah or a Kai'Sa, they'll be dealing a lot more attack damage than you and probably winning against you, especially in the early game. So Brutal's a nice way to kind of stabilize that and kind of help you out a bit in the early game. Hunter Titan again for the maximum health and the tenacity, which is really nice, and then Sweet Tooth to give you that little bit more HP and mana. Then for the spells, Flash and Barrier as always. Again, if your support takes Ignite or Exhaust, just make sure you take Heal. But Barrier is really good because obviously there's a lot of grievous wounds about at the moment, so Heal is not really that effective on ADCs. That's why you see loads of barriers in the games that I play, that people realize that Barrier is a nice way to get that big massive shield off to protect yourself. That's my little rundown on the items, runes and spells for Ezreal. Let me know what sort of build you go for, and let me know your thoughts on the build. Now let's move on to all the abilities and all the combos you need to know on Ezreal. Now first, let's take a look at Ezreal's passive, which is Rising Spell Force. So gains 10% attack speed for 8 seconds when hitting abilities, and you can stack it up to 4 times as well. Nice easy passive for you to know. The way you can tell how many stacks you have is underneath the mana bar. Is every single time you land a spell, you can see there's a little yellow bar. If you keep spamming your spells, you can see the yellow bar gets increased, and at the 4th stack, you gain your extra attack speed, and you can see the yellow bar is going down. So that's the time duration that you have for the attack speed. Next up for Ezreal, we have his Q, which is Mystic Shot, which fires a bolt dealing physical damage, and you also get more physical damage and ability power depending on how much AP or AD you have. Hitting a target reduces Ezreal's other abilities by 15 seconds, which is really nice because the Mystic Shot has a low cooldown already. And it applies on hit effects, which is what I was explaining earlier with the Sheen effect, the Spell Blade. So it will apply that effect. It will also apply the Iceborne Gauntlet Slow as well. It's a really nice way to get that quick bit of damage off. You saw it there when I was using a passive as well. You can see quite a big long range skill shot. You can see how far you can poke down enemy champions in lane. But when you use it, it just fires out a Mystic Shot. And as I said, it will proc the Spellblade effects. It will proc the passive slow from the Iceborne or the extra damage from the Trinity Force. Next up for Ezreal, we have Essence Flux, which fires an orb that sticks to a champion, epic monster or structure for 4 seconds. Hitting the target with an attack or an ability detonates the orb, dealing a little bit of magic damage. Also, you get some extra AD on top of that as well, and it also refunds 60 mana. Again, another skill shot ability. You'll be seeing a lot of skill shots with Ezreal. So another little skill shot. When you hit it on an enemy champion, you can see there's a little ring around them. And when you auto attack them, that's where it deals a little bit of extra damage. This also procs from your other abilities as well. So you can use your second ability, and then you can use your first ability, and that will deal the extra damage from Essence Flux, and also refund you that 60 mana. And as it said as well, you can also use this on towers. So when you're pushing down towers, make sure that you use an Essence Flux. As you can see, you can use it on the structure, go up and auto attack it, and it will deal that little bit of extra damage. You can also use it on dragons and barons. And like I said, it's a really good way for you to get that little bit of poke off in lane. If you land the Essence Flux, you can combine that with the Q ability or with an auto attack, or even with your third ability, and you will deal with that little bit of extra damage. Next up for Ezreal we have is E, which is Arcane Shift. Blinks to a target location and fires a bolt, dealing a little bit of magic damage. On top of that, you get bonus physical and magic damage. Prioritizes enemies hit by Essence Flux and then the nearest enemy. Really nice blink effect. You can see when I'm hovering around on the aim with the Essence Flux, you can see there's another bigger ring around it. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is that when you're blinking to an area, you need to see what's around that area. So if there's a champion around that area, so if I blink there, you'll see the attack will go on the dummy target. If I blink too far away, then it won't attack any target at all. You need to make sure when you use your blink effect, do you want to use it to, escape? Do you want to use it to go in? But the one thing I will note as well is that the cooldown, as you can see, is quite a big cooldown. 25 seconds in early game. But when you level it up, you normally level up seconds, and normally at level 10 or 11, you can get the 16-second cooldown, which is still a long time. So you need to make sure you don't waste this ability, especially in the early game. It's really good for escaping or engaging onto enemies. You need to make sure, like, do I want to go into the team fight? Do I want to blink in? But obviously be careful because you might get caught out by something. Or do I want to blink backwards and keep on using my abilities to deal with that extra bit of damage? And lastly for Ezreal, we have True Shot Barrage, which fires an energy wave, dealing magic damage, and you also deal bonus physical and magic damage on top of that. And it also deals 50% reduced damage to minions and non-epic monsters. So this is a global ultimate. As you can see on the minimap in the top left-hand corner, I can use this across the whole map. It doesn't matter where it goes. When you use the ability, it fires out, and you can hold the ability to see where it goes. And obviously you can still see your champion in the top left-hand corner. But it's a really nice ability where you can stay back, deal that little bit of poke damage. Has a bit of a long cooldown, but it's really nice to get that execution damage off as well. You can use the ability and then keep on moving around. And the ability you can see in the minimap top corner there, you can see where the ability goes. Really nice global ultimate that you can use to try and pick off the enemies or try and use in a team fight. This is an AoE spell. It's not the biggest AoE spell, but it has a little bit of width to it, so you can hit multiple targets at once, and all of them will do 100% of the damage as well. You won't get reduced damage if you hit multiple targets. So make sure you use this during a big massive team fight, and like I said, try and combine that with your other abilities as well. The good combo that you can use during the laning phase with Ezreal, which is really nice, you can use your second ability and your third ability to get that little bit of damage off. But as I said, just make sure you're not using it when maybe the jungler might be around or something like that, because then it might keep you in a pretty bad situation, and obviously against blitzcranks and everything as well. You can use your second ability and then use your third ability to blink either towards or to the side of a champion, and you can get that nice little easy bit of poke off. This goes obviously through minions and everything as well, because it will always prioritize the champion. So if there's like loads of minions nearby, it will always prioritize the champion. So just make sure when using your third ability that the champion is always in range of where you're jumping to. If they're in range, then the auto attack will always focus them. If it's not, then the auto attack from your third ability will prioritize the minions instead. You can combine your second ability with the ultimate, and it deals a big massive amount of damage. Now let's take a look at the leveling order for Ezreal. So when you first start off, you want to go for your Q, your first ability. Really good ability that you can use to poke in lane or to farm minions. Kind of stay back and play passive. Because with Ezreal, you don't have the best early game. So it's nice to get that early Q damage off on the enemies, or to just farm the minions and stay a bit back and stay a bit passive. Then when you level up to level 2, you have a choice whether you want to go for the second or the third ability. I like to go for the third ability most of the time, second, because you have that blink effect, so you can either blink forward or blink backwards if you're going to get engaged on, especially if you're against like an Alistar, a Nami bubble, you know, anything that has engage, a Leona as well. Anything that has engage, and the blink is a really, really nice effect. And as you're leveling up, you want to focus on getting your first ability maxed first. Really nice way to obviously lower the cooldown, increase the damage. Then after that, you want to go for your blink second, so your third ability second. The third ability, again, reduces the cooldown to 16 seconds at max ranks. You want to get this as soon as possible, so then you can keep blinking around. You can keep blinking around the team fights, but like I said, just make sure you don't waste it. Because if you blink into a team fight and if you get caught, and if you don't have flash, then you'll be dead. Then lastly, you got the W ability, which, like I said, you don't really use that much. You mainly use it to get the combo that I showed you, the W into the E in early game. But most of the time in the late game, you just want to use it to just keep stacking the Sheen effect, and also keep stacking the passive to give you attack speed. That's it for my in-depth Ezreal guide. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, I've got a gameplay to show you all now from when I was Grandmaster a few days ago, but this was from my win streak. I played an Ezreal game and we popped off. Really shows that if you stay passive during the early laning phases, and if you're able to scale up with Ezreal, you can be a real force. But the problem is at the moment is Wild Rift is very like level 5 early game first dragon centric at the moment, which Ezreal doesn't really thrive upon. You need to get your 2-item power spike with your Manamune and your Trinity Force, and when you have that spike, you'll actually become a champion and become pretty useful. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay. Stay tuned for more content, and as always, take care. Probably happened. Yo, Godric, how's it going? Let's go, it's finally happening. He's actually good right now. He's okay. I don't think he's like insane, you know. I think he's okay. I'll probably B tier or something like that in a moment. I don't have a jungler in my solo queue. Isn't that like what normally happens every game? You just don't get a jungler.
I don't care where here is. Just point me toward adventure.
Minions have spawned.
I'm at my best when the world's on the brink of annihilation.
Retreat.
The gauntlet's for show. The talent's all me. Tell me the odds. I dare you. Time to show 'em who's best. Spoiler, it's me. I'm not even breaking a sweat. Who needs a map? Tell me the odds. I dare you. Blast them, gauntlet. I'm not even breaking a sweat.
Okay, I'm just gonna go back and get the hill here. Go back, quickly grab the hill. Actually, I could have gone back to base and got tier, to be honest. Maybe that wasn't a bad shout.
Best when the world's on the brink of annihilation.
Retreat.
Time for a true display of skill.
Retreat.
All right, guys, don't miss me too much. Who needs a map?
Oh, not bad start.
Danger. Retreat from the enemy champion.
talent's on me. I'll make this look easy.
First blood. Enemy slain.
When you've got talent, there's no such thing as a lucky shot.
I God, I'm missing all the CS right now.
Breaking a sweat.
Ally slain.
The world's on the brink of annihilation.
Middle turret is under attack.
Gauntlet, let's clear a path. Who needs a map?
Retreat. You have slain an enemy. On my way.
They're both so low. Oh, that's so unlucky. Oh, I actually nearly got both of them there. How sad is that, chat? I actually nearly got both of them.
Yeah, I totally.
Middle turret is under attack.
Pretty close.
On my way.
I was so unlucky.
Way. Dragon has spawned.
I thought I was getting both of them there, to be honest.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in. I'll make this look easy.
Middle turret is under attack. On my way. Engage.
Oh, a plan. Yeah, I totally.
The enemy team has slain the dragon. Enemy killing spree. Enemy slain. Enemy slain. You have slain an enemy. Ally slain. Shut down. You have slain an enemy.
So close. Oh, so close again. You got the Drake though. They got the Drake in the end.
Alright, guys, don't
Unfortunate.
much. When you've got talent, there's no such thing as a lucky shot.
Unfortunate. The Wukong flashed over the wall as well, which I couldn't really do much about. Really unlucky. As you can tell, I'm not the cleanest on Ezreal.
Ally slain.
Oh, a plan.
Enemy slain. Retreat. The Rift Herald has spawned.
What? Wait, I'm so... Where did my E go?
Top turret is under attack. You are on a killing spree.
I'm so confused where my E went there. I like blinked to nothing for some reason. Why did I blink to nothing there? It's so weird.
Ally slain.
Weird. I was trying to E over the wall there.
Killing spree. First turret destroyed.
I'm going to try force this game, I think.
Middle turret is under attack.
I don't think Iceborne is actually that bad this game. I don't know. What do I want to do this game? Let's go Triforce. Let's go Triforce. Oh my god, man. Why is my whole team just crazy right now?
Top turret is under attack. On my way. Enemy slain. Shut down. attack. Danger. Danger.
I don't know about this game, chat. I don't know.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in.
The dragon has spawned. Attack the dragon. Root. On my way. Attack the dragon. Attack the dragon.
Oh, no way, man. I'm actually dead now as well from that. Guess I'm not dead.
Time for a true display of skill.
How'd I stay alive there?
I'm at my best when the world's on the brink of annihilation.
Retreat. On my way.
Yeah, I totally.
Bottom turret is under attack.
I just don't feel like I have the carry potential this game.
Enemy turret destroyed. Double kill. Killing spree. Attack
I'm not
Baron.
really too sure.
Baron Nashor has spawned. Enemy turret destroyed. Enemy slain.
Okay.
Attack Baron.
I have to really concentrate when playing this champion because I'm not the best at it. As you can tell. Let's go back.
Alright, guys, don't miss me too.
As you can tell, I'm not the best at this champion.
Retreat.
I don't think I'm doing that bad though, this game, chat.
On
I think we're doing alright.
For show. The talent's on me.
Is that Ezreal? Yeah, it is Chopperino, it is. Okay. Nice champ. Nice champ.
You are unstoppable.
Okay. Janet MVP.
You are dominating. Shut down. Double kill.
Okay.
You are
I'm cracked.
Alright, guys, don't miss
on,
me too
on
much.
my way.
Okay, okay. Winnable.
This is really worth 10 times the asking price. I'm at my best when
On
the
my
world's on
way.
the brink of annihilation.
Winnable. Oh wait, I want to go for Mortal Reminder, no? I probably want to go Mortal Reminder this game, right? Right, chat? Am I a Mortal Reminder this game or not? I don't even know. I think I am.
The gauntlet's for show. The talent's on me. Gauntlet, let's clear a path.
On my way.
Who needs a map?
Retreat. On my way.
Time for a true display of skill.
Engage. Ally slain.
The hell is going on?
Rampage.
We're not chasing.
Kill. Unstoppable. Engage.
Clear a path.
On my way. Spawn. You are legendary.
did Wukong steal it? What?
Dominant group. Attack the turret.
How did Wukong steal it, chat?
Enemy turret destroyed. Killing spree.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to flash. Wait, where did I flash to? Hello? Hello? Can I report a bug? I did not press my flash button. Bug?
Bottom turret.
Please? Report? Righto Games, I would like to report a bug, please. Okay. Okay. Bug Kappa.
On my way.
Okay, guess I'm just insane as Ezreal now. Alright, let's get it. One more push and we win, right? We should not split right now. We should push. Push as 5.
Enemy slain.
Okay. What's happening bot lane? Okay. We just winning?
Double kill.
Okay.
Ally slain. You are legendary. Enemy turret destroyed. Double kill. You are legendary.
Chat, I can't believe it.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Chat, can you all believe it? We actually got an Ezreal game.
Enemy turret destroyed.
We did it, chat. We finally got an Ezreal game. We did it, chat. We got an Ezreal game. And it was a good Ezreal game.